Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My good name is Israel Kagiwi, and today I bring you yet another beautiful episode of Relationship Nuggets. So today we're going to talk about 7 types of men you should not marry. You know, as a lady, sometimes you desire marriage, or maybe you get desperate, you want to get married, but the last thing you want to do is to marry the wrong person. So you need to make sure you marry the right person. So in this video, I'm just going to share with you 7 types of men you should not marry. Because if you marry the wrong person, it's not going to be good for you and you're going to regret. So make sure you marry the right person. God wants you to marry the right person. So stay tuned. I'm going to share with you 7 types of men you should not marry. But before we go on, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you click the notification bell so that we'll be able to update you whenever we post a video. Now, 7 types of men you should not marry. Number 1, the unbeliever. What am I talking about? The Bible says in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6 verses 14, do not be unequally yoked together with the unbeliever. For what fellowship does light have with darkness? If you are born again and this man is not born again, it's not going to be good for you, because probably you are in ministry and maybe you are interested in the things of God, but this guy is not really into the Christianity and into the ministry. So this guy is going to be a distraction to you and is going to cause you to walk away from the presence of God. So you make sure you marry the right person, the man who is born again. If he's not born again, let God change him first before you guys come in together and be in a relationship. Don't do evangel dating. If this guy is not born again, make sure he loves God first before he loves you, because if you don't love God before he first leaves, he's going to abuse you. So don't marry the unbeliever. Number 2, don't marry the abuser. Abuse can come in different forms. It can be physical, emotional, spiritual, name it. So if you marry a guy who abuses you in all these aspects, it's not going to be good for you. If you marry a guy who insults you, if you marry a guy who beats you up, imagine if this guy is doing this in dating. What about if you get married to this guy? It's going to be hell for you. So make sure you don't marry the guy who abuses you. Amen? Number 3 type of man you should not marry. The addict. What am I talking about? If this guy is struggling with addiction, probably in pornography, drug abuse, alcohol, and all this kind of stuff, and you get married to this guy, you are going to struggle with him together. So make sure this guy has dealt with all this addiction and all his personal struggles before he gets married to you, so that you can have a clear path. So don't marry a guy who's still struggling, who still have addicts. Probably is addicted to sex, is addicted to all this kind of stuff. Make sure he has overcome all this before you get married to this guy. So don't marry the addict. Number 4 type of man you should not marry. The mama's boy. Who is a mama's boy? A mama's boy is a guy who is still tied to their moms. You know, everything he does, he has to confirm to his mom. He always says, for this cause, a man shall leave his father and mother. So if you marry a guy who is still tied to the mom, everything he does, mama. So maybe probably he's still depending on their parents, still depending on their mom. You know, this guy is not going to be good for you. So make sure this guy, first of all, is mature and is responsible before you hook up with this kind of person. So don't marry a mama's boy. Mama's boy, I'm not telling you to marry someone who does not respect their mother. Don't get me wrong. What I'm telling you, don't marry a guy who has not yet matured enough to make decisions personally without confirming, you know, some mature decisions that you don't need to confirm or maybe to consult to people. So don't marry a mama's boy. Marry a guy who has overcome and he's mature and ready for marriage. Number 5 type of man you should not marry. The hot-tempered guy, or maybe let me say the angry guy. So if you marry a guy who get angry very quickly, is a hot-tempered guy, it's not going to be good for you. So make sure you check this guy. How does he control his anger? And this now includes also make sure you check his temperaments. Is he a sanguine? Is he a melancholic? Is he all this kind of stuff, because so that make sure you don't marry the wrong person, maybe someone you're going to struggle with, because most cases of domestic violence are caused because of a guy who is a hot-tempered guy. So make sure you marry a man who is not hot-tempered. Amen. Number 6, don't marry a cheater, a tempter, or a flirt. So you need to check this guy. Is he faithful in dating right now that you are dating and getting to know each other? If he's not faithful in dating and in courtship, he's not going to be faithful in marriage. These are the kind of guys who have side chicks beside their wife. So you need to check this guy. Is he faithful in that relationship that you are in? Is he a flirt? Does it like flirting with women? So you need to check these characters. They're very key. If you want to have a successful marriage, if you want to have a good marriage, make sure you don't marry this kind of person. Don't marry a cheat, don't marry a flirt, and don't marry a guy who is a tempter, who like puts me in temptation. Maybe a guy who wants to fornicate with you and you're not married to each other. So if this guy is pressuring you to have sex right now and you're not married to each other, that means this guy cannot control himself. So you need to check these characters. They're very key. If you want to have a successful marriage, make sure you marry a guy who knows how to control himself and marry a faithful person. Number 7. Don't marry a man who has a destructive money and working habits. What am I talking about? How does he spend his money? How does he work? Is he a committed guy? Is he a responsible guy? If this guy is not spending his money wisely, or probably the way he works, does he work arrogantly? So you need to check. If this guy is not responsible in these areas, it's not going to be good for you if you marry this kind of person. So make sure this guy has matured enough. How does he spend his money? Is he spending his money on betting and on things which are not profitable in his life? Maybe buying things which are not even important in life. So make sure you marry a guy who is responsible when it comes to finances and working habits. I'm not telling you that you should marry a guy who has it all together or a financial stable guy. That is not what I mean. I mean you marry a guy who is responsible and who is mature to money and all this kind of stuff. So those are the 7 types of men that you should not marry. Remember, there are many more. All you have to do is to suggest on the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you, but make the wise decision. Don't marry the wrong person. In as much you're desperate, in as much you're desiring marriage, make sure you marry the right person. So remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and you click the notification bell so that we'll be able to update you whenever we post a video. There are a lot of videos that you should watch after this. So thank you so much and see you next time.